James Savundra back alongside me to chat us through the latest deals. Let's start off with Manchester United and an outgoing, James.
Yes, Andre Onana is going back to Trabzonspor. Manchester United have confirmed that in the last few minutes. He's going on another loan spell. He enjoyed a really successful loan spell last year in Turkey at Trabzonspor. They finished third. They won the Turkish Cup as well. Onana played 40 times for the club, and there were no conversations, despite the fact he impressed in Turkey, about him coming back in pre-season and competing with Senna Lomans, who is now the outstanding #1 choice for United in terms of goalkeepers. So Onana, it's been arranged very early in this transfer window, will return to Turkey for another season, and when he returns after that, there'll be 1 year left in his contract. So it looks like United have found the best solution in this transfer window, though of course long term they'd like to get some money for him next summer if they can, before he leaves as a free agent in 2 years' time.
Yeah. In terms of income, of course, last summer, United were focusing top end of the pitch, the likes of Mbomo and Cunha, but the focus seems to really be on midfield this summer around. So who are the options they're looking at, James?
That is the priority for Manchester United in this transfer window, a midfielder. They're already going to get one in the form of Ederson from Atalanta. That will be confirmed as soon as Brazil go out of the World Cup. But Aurelian Tchouameni, Alex Scott...
Or win it.
Or win it. They could play England next Saturday evening at 10 o'clock, so let's wait and see. We may get a good glimpse of him there. Yeah. But in terms of those midfield options, Alex Scott, one of the ones top of the list. Aurelian Tchouameni as well at Real Madrid. Those are two of the top targets when it comes to midfield. In terms of other options, Felix Mecha, Ayoud Bouardi, Sander Berge and Eduardo Camavinga, who's a teammate of Tchouameni at Real Madrid. Two of the options they're looking at there. I guess the issue around the Real Madrid midfielders is the fact that Real Madrid are looking to revamp their midfield in this transfer window. They're looking to sign one more midfielder. There's a feeling if they do bring one in, then maybe one midfielder will be allowed to leave. You'd think that may be Camavinga. So I think Tchouameni will be a very difficult player to get out of Real Madrid. Same being said about Alex Scott as well. Bournemouth don't want to sell him in this transfer window. If there was to be a race to sign him, you'd think Manchester United and Arsenal would be the front runners. Bournemouth want him to sign a new contract. We know how impressed Thomas Tuchel's been with him. He played for England during those warm-up matches earlier on before the World Cup. And they've got European football to look forward to this season as well. They want to keep him. Those two deals look very difficult for Manchester United to do. We know they definitely want to sign another midfielder alongside Ederson.
I guess the old cliche at this time of year, especially around relegated clubs, they're willing to do business on the cheap for their best players. West Ham keen to avoid that, though, and we know that there's plenty of players there of interest. So what can you tell us, especially around these two?
I think we need to give West Ham plenty of credit for getting £85 million from Mateus Fernandes.
Sure.
A brilliant start to the transfer window for them in terms of recouping some money. Here are two players who are likely to be top of the agenda. Manchester United see Somerville as one of the top left-wing options. Crescencio Somerville did so well for West Ham last season, didn't quite do enough to keep them up, did well at the World Cup with the Netherlands, and United have held exploratory initial talks with West Ham around trying to sign him in this transfer window. His future is expected to be clarified over the course of the next few weeks after the Netherlands went out of the World Cup against Morocco earlier on this week. When it comes to Jarrod Bowen, the club captain, a slightly different stance from West Ham. They do not want to sell him in this transfer window, despite plenty of interest from Premier League clubs in this transfer window. No price tag has been given or quoted to clubs. He's got a contract up until 2030, which puts West Ham in a really, really strong position. And also he was featured on the launch of their new home kit ahead of the season they're going to have in the Championship this season. He'll be back for pre-season next week. West Ham don't want to let him go. So it seems like Bowen is not for sale. Somerville, it looks like there is interest across the Premier League. Manchester United, one of the clubs looking to sign him. At the same time for Manchester United, they got Marcus Rashford back at the club. Barcelona didn't take the option to buy him permanently. I don't think United would consider another loan spell for him. So if Rashford's reintegrated and plays a part this season, then will they sign a left winger? It feels like when it comes to United bringing in someone on the left-hand side, Rashford's future is absolutely key here.
Yeah, of course. And, obviously we've had the significant change in terms of Michael Carrick now being permanent head coach. I wonder if that might potentially change his fortunes. You mentioned Camavinga, Tchouameni. Well, as far as Real Madrid are concerned, Florentino Perez and Jose Mourinho already done a lot of business at Real Madrid, but one player who will not be joining the revolution at the Estadio Bernabeu is this guy here, Enzo Fernandez.
And it was felt that he was going to be one of their top targets in this transfer window, and he made some comments to Argentinian media in March when he spoke about Madrid being a great city and suggested he'd want to perhaps play for Real Madrid, and all the talk behind the scenes had suggested that Enzo and his representatives were perhaps pushing for a move to Real Madrid. But Real Madrid have done something which is almost unprecedented. They did it earlier on this season when they ruled themselves out from signing Michael Olise. They've done the same today, saying they've got no intention of buying Enzo Fernandez in this transfer window, which is really interesting from Real Madrid, which means Enzo's in a situation whereby it seems likely you'd have to say he stays at Chelsea in this transfer window, because Chelsea want around £100 million, probably more when you look at the amount of money that the likes of Tonali and Elliot Anderson are going for in this transfer window. They bought him for £107 million. So if they're not going to get anywhere near that, it's unlikely they sell him, and they're in a very strong position as well. He's got a contract up until 2032. As far as they're concerned, they want him being part of that first-team plan under Xabi Alonso this season, which could be a really, really exciting era for Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, and especially given, Xabi himself knows about what it's like being a big-name midfielder.
And a World Cup winner as well.
World Cup winner as well. I mean, they're coming out of our ears right now. Christian Camber on the show earlier. Let's talk Spurs, and we're expecting news to come out in the next few days on Sandro Tonali, but the headline today, a midfield departure in the shape of João Palhinha, a man who produced some clutch moments for Spurs in the last season. Yeah,
he may go down as a Spurs legend, considering what he did in the last few weeks of the season. He scored the winner against Wolves, which got them back on track, and scored that goal which you're about to see against Everton, which ensured Spurs remain a Premier League club. Last summer, Spurs brought him on loan from Bayern Munich. They had the option to buy him permanently. At the end of the season, Roberto De Zerbi said 100% in terms of wanting to keep João Palhinha. But since that's happened, we've seen what Spurs have done in this transfer window. Bring in Sandro Tonali, that will be confirmed very soon. Bring in Mateus Fernandes, that was confirmed yesterday. So it's felt like they didn't really necessarily need João Palhinha, despite the fact they really respect what he did last season. They've got so many midfielders now, Spurs. Bergvall, Archie Gray as well. Maddison will return to the fold as well this season. So there wasn't the need for Palhinha, perhaps. And he's released a statement on Instagram today saying, representing Tottenham has had a profound impact on my life, not only professionally, but personally. And it is something I'll carry with me forever. Spurs fans will forever be grateful for what João Palhinha did. He's laid the foundations for what they've done this summer in terms of really attacking this coming season under Roberto De Zerbi. So they owe him a huge amount of gratitude. And it looks like, it's our understanding, he's likely to move to Spurs.